Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eternal Midnight. And it is the month of love. Now, last year we covered Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible, but right now we're getting it, a little bit more festive, festive into the holidays. So we're going to be discussing romance films of any sort of form. And Chad and I picked our favorites to talk about and discuss. So right now we're going with one of Chad's first personal favorites, Chasing Amy. So Chad, why don't you tell me about Chasing Amy and how you watched it and how you got into it and how you saw it for the first time before we.
So, Chasing Amy is part of Kevin Smith's View Askew universe, which connected universe that happened before the MCU. The MCU stole the idea from Kevin Smith, basically. But it's like I'd watched quite a few of the others. Like I'd watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks, Dogma before I got to Chasing Amy, because everyone was like, "Oh, Chasing Amy is like completely different." They're like, "It's not like this over the top, like goofy comedy like some of the others."
Wait, Clerks and Dogma are part of this View Askew universe?
Yep. So the order is Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, and then I don't remember. I don't remember where it goes after that. I think the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I think I don't know, because like I think Zack and Miri is part of it because one of the characters from it is in the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reboot. I don't remember. I just know it. To me, it kind of stopped at Clerks 2, and I didn't really care about what came after that. But yeah, they're all connected. Like some of the characters that Alyssa mentions, like the one dude, Rick Darris, that she mentions.
Right.
He's in Clerks.
Oh, I see.
And when they talk about the girl fucking the dead guy in the bathroom, that happened in Clerks.
Oh, I see. And Dogma is part of. So Dogma, Ben Affleck plays the same character of Dogma as in Chasing Amy, right?
That'd be awesome if he did, but he doesn't. No, he plays in Dogma. He plays a fallen angel.
Oh, I see. So how is how is Dogma related to Chasing Amy? Like
Jay and Silent Bob are in it.
Okay.
That's about it. It's like Jay and Silent Bob are like always the tie. Because it's like Mallrats takes place a day or two before Clerks. I don't remember the exact timeline, but yeah. Well, maybe at some point we'll like do all those movies or something. We'll figure out the timeline ourselves.
All right. So
I got to Chasing Amy, and like the first time I watched it, I was just like, oh, it's a good like romantic comedy. A little more like serious than a romantic comedy than I was expecting. But as time went on, and I watched it more and more, I just realized what a almost tragic relationship Holden and Alyssa had, because, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there who easily could agree that, they've made mistakes in relationships and it's cost them their whole thing, but not to the level that Holden accidentally did by being a complete idiot, which we'll get to at the end. But the more I watch this one, the more I love it. And I rewatched it for this last night, and it just like cemented how much I just absolutely love this film, because the ending hits so hard. It's such a hard ending
was like, wow. I watched it for the first time like not even 24 hours ago, and it was like, wow, this is really a hard-hitting story, because it really is like, well, I've never dated anyone, but I know at one point you're gonna have that one, the one that got away. Like, I should have like done something more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we're gonna get to the ending like later, but the build up to the ending is great. I mean, like you have Holden, who is this relatable dude, and he's at this comic convention where he's promoting his comic. Was it Blunt Man and Chronic, something like that, right?
Blunt Man and Chronic.
Yeah. So like Holden learns that Alyssa's a lesbian, and then, but he still confessed his love to her, which is like, Wow. Balls on you, dude. It's like if that was in 2020, I would have gotten canceled.
I mean, it's hard to think of it because it's like, even though he knows, or at least thought at that point, it doesn't matter. It's like, I know how hard it is to get something like that off your chest to someone who you really care about. And he even said it. He's like, I know this isn't gonna make a difference. He's like, but I had to let you know, like, how much you mean to me. And her reaction was understandable. I mean, yeah, it flipped, and she got with him, and then like Banky got involved and ruined. Basically, it's at the end of the day, yes, it was Holden's fault that their relationship truly ended. But it's like, if Banky hadn't been such an asshole, it's like, dude, just let them be happy. Like, what? It's like, I mean, I get that they built on it, like his jealousy of all of it. It's like, dude, just let your best friend be happy. Come on.
Yeah, because Banky was an annoying ass character. I hated him. I was like, dude, stop butting in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Stop butting into their relationship. They're not like, it's clear that you're the third wheel. And then we'll have it like you're like out with your friend, and then you're the third wheel, so you're just gonna leave. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always like that one scene too, where it's like when he first found out Alyssa was a lesbian, and they're at the bar, and Banky and her are like showing wounds, and he's like, Holden's just sitting there annoyed. It's like, again, that's relatable. It's like almost in that way where you like find out a girl you like has a boyfriend, but you're obviously interested in her, and now you're just like, I don't even want to be around her because I stand no chance. So it's like, I had a crush, and the crush is gone because it doesn't make a difference. I don't want to be around you anymore. But it's like, I give him props for like, and that's another reason why I love this movie, because I just thought it was so like smartly and like naturally feeling written, if that makes sense. Like, the conversations the characters have in this movie, they feel like how real people talk to each other.
Yeah, that's like the weakness of like bad romance movies, is when they're cheesy to the point of like uh uh you sound like you sound bad, like okay,
It
again.
sounds fake. It sounds
Yeah,
scripted. It sounds like something a writer would put in a book, and now these people are saying it. No, like when Banky is like giving him shit later in the movie, and he's like, "Whoa, what if she has a disease?" And Holden just like loses his shit, and he's like, "Dude, show some respect. She's my fucking girlfriend." That's how people talk about someone they care about when they're upset. That's how people actually talk.
exactly, because like the whole idea of it is like fucking when romance movies are bad, they sound bad. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, an example: 50 Shades Darker.
Ooh.
Like, I haven't seen in the entirety of it, but there's a whole point where like Christian Grey's like, "Where have you been all my life? Waiting for you." I'm like, what? No one talks like that.
Oh.
No one talks like that. Or even fucking Twilight.
Oh.
No one talks like that in Twilight. I'll be real. Like, no one, like, they don't. Or here's the best example I can give. Uh, Star Wars prequels.
Oof.
I
I
don't
don't like
understand.
sand.
It, it it's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Or my favorite. Uh, I'm sick. It's probably because you're so in love. No, it's because I'm so in love with you. Like, whoa, what the fuck? No one talks like that.
Exactly. People talk like they do in this film, where it's like when he's like dumping his love on Alyssa, and it's like she's just like staring at him like, "Are you serious?" And he just keeps going, and it's like you can hear it in his voice, like he's getting nervous and he's just starting to ramble. Again, that's how people talk when you get nervous. you ramble and you just prattle on sometimes when the other person doesn't say anything. You like feel the need to just keep going, to just like fill the void of silence, and you just keep talking. Again, it doesn't feel scripted. It feels like how people actually talk to each other. Like that's what the power that this movie has. It feels real and it's relatable. Like I said at the beginning, I'm sure there's tons of people out there who've made horrible mistakes that there's no going back from. And that's why like the ending is just so, it's so like both of the endings are so heartbreaking. When him and Alyssa like break up for good, it's like I can't blame her in the slightest. He literally just offered her up to his best friend. She had every right in the world to slap him across the face and break up with him.
Yeah.
And then when they see each other again at the comic book convention, that was, I've had that conversation with exes. I've had it. It's not fun, and it's as awkward as it was there.
That was so sad when they're like Banky and Alyssa, like, are Banky and Alyssa together at the end? Like I couldn't like tell. Were they?
Who?
Banky and Alyssa, like the 1 year dated, like the time skip, like at the very end.
No, that girl that was sitting with Alyssa, that was her new girlfriend.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't notice.
No, so what happened was Holden sold his rights to Bluntman and Chronic to Banky, and he just moved on from it altogether.
Right, I remember that. But yeah, when Holden gave her the copy of Chasing Amy, and was like, I hope you read it and all that. And I was like, oh fuck.
And with that like piano music playing underneath it, it was just like, that was some of the saddest piano music I've ever heard too. And it perfectly like, it fits so perfectly with what they were talking about. Like two people who still massively care about each other, but know they're never going to be together again. It's so depressing.
I think it was. It was weird because I watched this on YouTube. It's like the full movie's on YouTube. I was like, man, it still hurts. And Alyssa.
So
Alyssa
go ahead.
Too. She's really pretty too. She's a pretty girl.
Mm-hmm. Joey Lauren Adams, I love her.
Yeah.
So now that you've finished it, can you see why it's like one of my favorite films ever?
Oh yeah, I can see why. Because it really is a real relationship. It's like a relationship that I think we've all had once, you know what I mean? Like that, the one that got away. Yeah, we've all had that. And you know, like I can't believe Kevin Smith, like, you know, had a hand in this because he's not exactly like the best writer.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He used to be.
Yeah, because like, you know, I haven't seen it and I don't want to, but I've heard about the Masters of the Universe.
I have no interest in like anything he works on anymore.
Yeah.
Once he made like Yoga Hosers, I was done. Like I watched the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reboot, and the unironic part of that film is it's pretty bad, but it's called a reboot, and I mean, yeah, it's pretty much a remake of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So it's like the movie didn't lie to us. At least it was what it said it was. It was basically a bad remake of the original Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So I don't know if it was some kind of like test of something to like see how people would react, but I don't think he's as I don't know. I just miss this writer. I miss this writing style that Kevin Smith used to have.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, overall, it's like, I think when it comes to love, it's like we said, you know, Holden and Alyssa, they had mad love for each other. And then as soon as Holden got insecure and scared about hearing stuff from her past, that was just when their relationship started falling apart. Like another scene that was just so sad to watch was when they were fighting in the parking lot after the hockey game.
Oh, that was hard to watch. It reminded me of the Marriage Story fight.
Yeah. And then like that at the end where she's just like, why can't you just be happy that you and I are happy together and I love you and you love me? And he just walks off and she just breaks down swearing and crying right there in the parking lot. It's like, then you look at Holden and you're just like, it's relatable because you're like, I can understand his insecurities, but it's like, dude, this girl loves you. She told you she left that life behind because of how much you mean to her. Like, isn't that enough? But again, that's what it comes down to is of real relationships of sometimes insecurity can kill it. And that's like what this whole movie feels like it's about sometimes was his insecurity destroyed the best thing he ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely amazing film. For those who didn't listen to our episode where we did like our top 10 favorite movies of all time, this is one of my all-time favorite films. And for a while, I've been saying you should watch it. I'm glad you decided we do it for February. So I'm glad you got around to watching it, and I'm glad you really liked it.
I really like it. It's a very real relationship. It's a very real story. It's a very story that. Well, I think the strength of Chasing Amy here is it's a story that can resonate to anyone, whether you're old, you're young, you're starting to find love, you've been there, done that. It's a story where you can feel like there's been that one person where you're like, I wish we had more time, you know, I wish I met you when I was older, so I can express my feelings to you more, because when you're young, you're like insecure. You don't really like say what you mean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, it's a great movie, and I really want to. I can really see myself watching it again, but probably like when I'm like, you know, not down in the dumps, like
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I genuinely think Affleck did an amazing job acting in this film.
He did an amazing job acting in the next one also.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to go to the lead in yet to the next one, but no, it's a good.
Yeah.
His acting, I thought his acting in this was great. I thought he was upbeat and happy when he needed to be, and like that scene where Alyssa was telling him, you know, why he fucked up when he like offered the three-way, when he's just like sitting there in shock, realizing how stupid he was for doing that, and just like seeing the tears streaming down his face. It was just like, damn, he did a great job. He did an amazing job acting in this, I thought.
He really did.
The goatee just looks so weird on him. That's the one thing. His facial hair, he just looked so not Ben Affleck.
Yeah. I like seeing Ben Affleck with a beard, you know, like in Snyder
Justice League.
Yeah, but
Snyder Cut.
But not like that.
Or we can get clean-shaven Affleck in a movie that is nothing about love, in all honesty. This movie is about hate and
deception,
murder and deception and lying, and there is nothing about love in this film, and yet it's still like a romantic thriller somehow.
It's still a romantic comedy.
No, I was leading into Gone Girl.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, I know Gone Girl.
This ain't there's nothing funny about this film.
No, it's not comedy. Like, it's still a romantic psychopath.
A romantic thriller.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chad, I've been telling you to watch Gone Girl forever, and you finally watched it. So what did you think of it, man?
This was one I wish I had watched this a long, long time ago, because this movie was incredible.
I know, right? Gone Girl is one of those films that
Well, here's the biggest thing you keep forgetting. If you told me it was Fincher, I would have been on this a lot faster. I think that's the part you kept leaving out, was you never told me Fincher was the director.
I should have told you that Fincher, the guy who made
because anything that man touches is gold.
Yeah, Fincher, the guy who made Seven and
Fight Club.
Yeah,
Benjamin Button,
yeah,
Alien 3,
yeah,
Zodiac.
yeah. Fuck, I should have told you it was Fincher. You might have gotten off.
But
Yeah, but like exactly. So
it's good you waited because I always love being surprised by an amazing film.
what do
And
you think of it, man? Like, you went into this film knowing nothing. What did you
I
think?
went in absolutely blind. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the concept. I never watched a trailer. Absolutely nothing. And I went in thinking like, you know, I went in thinking, okay, yeah, she's kidnapped. I wonder, like, is this? I was like, is this psychological? Like, she's actually dead. We're gonna start seeing like maybe memories popping back in his head, like he murdered her in a rage or something.
Nah, it
And then
was
as soon as
far
it
worse.
flipped to like,
It was
huh?
far worse.
Yeah, and then as soon as it flips to she set it all up, I was like, oh shit, this movie's gone to like the next level of like, hey, here's another one, Santino. This is how you subvert expectations.
Hey.
This is how you properly do it.
Yeah, it had no shortage of shocking scenes. Like when she fucking put the bottle in her, you know what? It's like, oh, yo, that's messed up.
Right.
I was
I
like,
was I
hey,
was not expecting her to kill what's his face either.
Neil Patrick Harris. Oh,
I did.
I was expecting that. Like when the minute she saw Ben Affleck like pleading, or like, I'm really
I
sorry.
thought I thought he was gonna like maybe like rape her or something, and then she was gonna do it in like what the best part of this was watching it was like I didn't know where it was gonna go.
Exactly. No, but like I love the algorithm, like the media, like the media demonized like Ben Affleck's character, like Nick. I was like, oh, dude, like okay, yes, he was at fault for cheating on her with Emily Ratajkowski, who was still
Smoking hot.
so hot in this movie. She was, yeah,
I
he
was like,
was a bad guy, yeah, but my God, like, come on, dude, uh, come on, Amy. There, hey, Amy, like,
and he was chasing her the whole movie.
oh my God, hey, like, come on, Amy, like, don't do this to him, like he doesn't deserve like to be framed, like, and remember, her plan was to actually kill herself as revenge for like that's fucked up. Like you'll take your own life.
Just so he would go to prison. She hated him so much. She was going to kill herself so he'd go to jail.
Uh,
That's what I loved about this film. It's like this film is just it's about like hatred. Like that's the main word of this film is hate.
oh yeah.
These and none of these are like we've talked about movies with like characters where like nobody is a good person. That's I mean, I'd say aside from maybe his sister.
And come on, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was
Okay, but he was a lawyer. All lawyers are evil. But it's like
hey,
aside from
my
his
mom's a
sister,
lawyer.
like
Evil.
no one in this movie is a good person if you think about it.
Yeah, no,
But
they're
that's what they were banking on was basically everyone was a scumbag in this film. And it's like
even that fucking news reporter was like, I want this girl to get shot.
yeah, and then when he like confronts her at the end of the movie, he's like, "Oh, aren't you the one who said I was like a sociopath who murdered my wife?" And
Yeah.
she's just like, "Ah, water under the bridge." It's like, "No, bitch, you led a smear campaign against this man, and now you're in his house."
Yeah, dude, like
It's like you're a monster too.
you just fucking kill this girl. Like, this girl needs to die. Uh no, but yeah. Gone Girl is like is a movie where I swear like that's what makes me like hesitate from like dating because this movie is fucking insane, man.
Not everything.
This movie
the the
is
likelihood of you finding a girl like Amy is like 1 in 1,000,000. Like, yeah, there's crazy girls out there, but I mean,
but this is the
she
definition
was
of
like smart. I mean, she was smart crazy, but I will give her credit. If Nick hadn't done what he'd done, they could have had a happy life together.
no, but like okay, yeah, I get that, but man, dude, this is the definition of never stick your dick into crazy. because
but you never. But yeah, but they hide. Yeah, but everyone hides crazy till a certain point.
yeah, everyone hides crazy, but holy fuck, this girl is insane. This girl's actually insane. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, it takes like her whole plot of setting everything up. I mean, it worked all the way up until like Nick did that interview that flipped everything on its side. If that hadn't happened, I mean, her plan was going to work.
I guess so. Yeah, but it's like at the very end, it's like Nick chooses to stay with her and start a family. What? Dude,
See, that
run,
right there is
run, dude.
like,
So in the end, you actually do love the crazy chick.
no, he doesn't love the crazy chick. He stayed with her because it was, my life will be miserable staying with her, but I will be in my child's life, or I can get away from her and I'll know that my biological child hates me. It's such a tough line to walk down of which path of life do I want to go down? Have my child in my life or have my child hate me?
Yeah, but
And she's the psycho because she's like, I have all the control.
she fucking murdered Neil Patrick Harris. Poor
Pretty.
guy.
I'm
Was
not gonna
like,
lie, that was a brutal death too.
yeah, poor guy. Like like just wanted to like be with the woman he loved, like obsessed with, and then fucking like while they're having sex slashes his throat. Like, yo, dude. And is that what's worse is that he framed her to make he framed him to make him look like he was a fucking creep bag. Which, in fairness, okay,
Exactly.
he was a creep bag, but like, my God,
I mean, she's a genius if you think about it. I mean, she's an evil genius. Like, she's like James Bond supervillain level of evil
but she
genius.
was a James Bond villain. Remember, at one point, she was.
She was a better villain in this one than she was in Die Another Day. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I love Die Another Day. But no, I mean, this was like next level. It's like we can't even really call her crazy because a crazy person could not pull off what she did.
She's not crazy.
She's an evil, psychotic genius.
Yeah, especially at the very end. The very end. Oh my God, the end where she comes back and she's covered in blood, and she dramatically falls in, and then she's like, "You dumb bitch."
I was gonna say, what did he whisper to her again? Like I knew he called her a bitch, but I wasn't sure if he said anything else. But it's like she's just like, play it up. You know you don't have a choice. You have to. You were on TV last night saying how much you loved me.
Yeah,
I mean, how often?
only
I just love it. It's
only
like
when
her
Nick
whole plan.
lost all of his pride, like lost everything, lost his pride, lost his dignity, humiliated by the media. Did she come back? Be like, yeah, you want to go to jail or no? Like, what, dude?
She's like, play the game, or yep, either play the game or you go to prison. I win. Yeah, dude, and that ending just, wow, just. I mean, it was. I think I was saying to you, it's like this ending is like on the same level of like kicking the balls, holy shit, as like Seven, where it's just, but in a different way.
Yeah, like,
just,
what would we do now? It's so ambiguous. Like, are they gonna kill each other or no?
you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he killed her at some point. I really wouldn't be shocked if he kills her at some point.
Deep down, like, they do have this like sort of psychotic love for each other. They do. That's why it was in romance. Like, we have this like psychotic love. Like if she hated Nick to the bottom of his heart, she wouldn't have come back. Like, she would have like killed herself and been like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is how you go down. But she came back. It's like she wanted to try again.
No, she came back because she hated him that much and she wanted to torture him even more.
Fair, fair. There's also that you can also see it like that.
I was saying that's how I saw it. It was she was that pissed off that he got the one up by doing the TV interview,
But she came
and
back. Yeah,
suddenly
yeah, yeah. That
everything
makes sense.
flipped and everything like flipped back to them being like, "Oh, poor Nick, we're on his side." I looked at it as like it pissed her off so much that he started getting people on his side again that she's like, "Nope, time to put everything back into my favor."
Even Perry is like, you two are the most fucked up people I ever met. It's like, yep, yep.
And I love that. Like even Tyler Perry, the cop, all of them knew. They all knew, but they're like, there's nothing we can do. We have no evidence. They're like, we know that you've done nothing. They're
Yeah.
like, but the media played it up, and there's nothing we can do about it now.
And Ben Affleck's cock's also in this movie. That's something I never see. I thought I never see. Like we get a shot of his dick, and I'm like, oh, dude. Like I love that scene where they're talking in the shower, and she's like washing off all the blood, and she's like, yeah, you know, the minute you read divorce, they're gonna hate you. I'm like, I can't disagree with that because that's true. They will.
Yep. That's why she came back, because she's like, fine, I'm just gonna ruin your life more now. I'm just gonna keep doing whatever I can to ruin your life because you ruined mine.
Uh,
Evil. There's no love. This movie is the opposite of love.
yeah,
It's
but
hate and evil.
they still like each other, like in a way, huh?
He slit the last scene of them together. He slams her head against the wall. He doesn't love her.
uh, this is like, Joker and Harley Quinn have nothing on this couple. Like for real, they don't.
Good comparison. I hate when people say, I going off topic because I know you'll agree. I hate when I see people say shit like, they put up memes like, I want a relationship like Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm like, you want a guy who you don't mean shit to, who's going to use you as a human shield?
Yeah,
Like, anyone who uses that, I'm like, you clearly have no idea what their relationship was like, do you?
and I feel bad for the sister also. Like the sister is like, you want to stay with this crazy bitch? Why?
Because of the kid.
Yeah.
That was it. It was literally if he walked, Amy would raise the child to hate him, and he'd be stuck with that. There's nothing he'd be able to do about it. And if he stayed, he'd be stuck with her, but at least his child wouldn't hate him. It's one of those toss-ups,
Yeah.
And he chose to forego his own life of happiness in favor of being in his child's life, I guess.
And stay with that monster. Oh my god.
She was an evil, yeah, she's an evil genius. End of story.
And that ending shot of like, what would we do? What would we do? Shit, fuck, dude. Yeah, what would we do? Like, I almost want, like, I'm glad, like, there should be no sequel. It should end like that.
Never.
Yeah, no sequel. Like, this is a one-off.
Like I remember, like when David Fincher does movies like this, we don't need sequels to any of it. Like, did you hear that rumor at one point they were going to do a sequel to Seven and it was going to be called Eight?
Oh, don't.
I'm so glad it never happened because we didn't need it.
Yeah.
And just like that, we don't need a sequel to this. Leave it ambiguous. Does he stay with her for the rest of his life, or does he eventually get away from her?
Or does he kill her? Does she kill him? We don't know.
Exactly.
He was on the edge.
Always sleeping with one eye open.
Oh,
Yep, great movie.
amazing movie. And that ending shot of like the reporter like, saying, we're pregnant, and then like the reporter's like, I'm so happy, and then you can see the face of Ben Affleck like, oh fuck, that's it. I just resigned my life to this monster.
It's over. I'm stuck.
It's game over. What will we
Great.
do? Yep, that's what love is. So
Sure.
next week we're gonna talk a lot more lighter film. You know,
I was gonna say next week we're gonna talk about actual love.
yeah, actual love, not fake love, actual love.
Right.
So next week we're talking La La Land, and we're headed to Singapore for Crazy Rich Asians. So let's see next week when we discuss those two movies, and you know, let's see what happens then. So I'm Santino signing off.
I'm Chad. Have a good one.